Hi guys, Belladonna Black here. In keeping with yesterday's local Lurgan legend, here are 5 old Belfast ghost stories. So, turn off the lights, get comfortable, and let's begin. Number 1. John Street, demolished during the construction of Royal Avenue in the 1880s, connected Donegal Street to North Street. One of the old street's country-type houses was said to have been haunted by the ghost of an elderly woman. It was claimed the ghost threw items of pottery and furniture around the back downstairs room, and on one occasion wrecked everything in the yard. One of the residents later claimed to have seen what appeared to have been an old woman walking up and down the back room, talking to herself. In May 1882, workmen laying new pipes and sewers discovered the bones of an old woman, which had lay buried for a number of years. The bones were removed and buried in the Union graveyard, and the hauntings were never heard of again. Number 2. The Grand Central Hotel stood on the site now occupied by Castle Court Shopping Centre at Royal Avenue. It was reputed as haunted by one of its original gas fitters, nicknamed Scottie. During the First World War, the hotel was requisitioned by the British Army. On the night of May 26, 1914, it was the turn of William Jenkins, the garrison's commanding officer, to patrol the building. A short time later, the men were alarmed by the sounds of Jenkins screaming in the upper floors, and discovered him lying at the front of the stairs, nervous and with shaking. Back at his quarters, Jenkins told them he had been confronted by the figure of a man moving towards him. Seconds later, he knew what he was seeing was not real. The lower part of the figure's legs seemed to be through the floor. Number 3. The Lucifer match factory in Millfield Place was the site of a notorious haunting. On Friday, December 15, 1882, a spark landed among the drying racks and almost immediately engulfed the whole room in flames. The fire trapped and killed 4 children, including the daughter of the factory manager, employed to box the matches. When the factory was rebuilt and work commenced once again, with the word Lucifer dropped from the factory name, nearby residents were awakened by screams which appeared to be coming from the factory. The screaming sounds were reported for a few years afterward, until the factory was demolished in the early part of the present century. It seems that when the factory disappeared, the screaming sounds disappeared with it. Number 4. The thoroughfare of Sandy Row is almost as old as the town of Belfast itself. In 1879, a coal porter named James Atkinson and his family moved into number 60 Sandy Row, and soon felt uneasy in their new home. The 8-year-old daughter slept in a back upstairs room, and occasionally she woke up in the middle of the night screaming. When her parents rushed in, she claimed to have seen a strange man in her bedroom. When the family moved elsewhere, the house was occupied by a labourer named Lowry. Carrying out repairs in his backyard, he noticed an elderly man standing at the bottom of his ladders. He called to the man and received no reply. But when he began to come down, the elderly man disappeared before his eyes. The house lay derelict for a number of years, until, at the turn of the century, the Ashwood family converted it into a hairdresser's. Workmen reported seeing the figure of a man in the backyard, but when they went out to investigate, no one was there. A 77-year-old man named Corbett had lived in the house for much of the last century. Corbett was said to be doting, and due to his unusual behaviour, became very well known throughout Sandy Row. On Friday, February 11th, 1876, his housekeeper's son returned from work, and as he was sitting down for a meal, He inquired where his seat was. His mother informed him that Corbett had took it out into the backyard earlier to do something, and that it must still have been out there. The man went out to search for the chair and saw it lying at the backyard wall. When he went over to get it, however, he saw Corbett hanged inside and enclave on a crook in the wall. Number 5. One November evening at the turn of the 20th century, a signalman coming off duty on the County Line Railway walked through dense bog on the railway track above the winding streets and entries of Ballymacarrett, East Belfast. The 7:30 p.m. Bangor train had just passed along the line when he heard someone not far behind him, and eventually he could make out the figure of a woman approaching through the fog. The signalman and young woman made their way back to the station together, where he bade the woman good night and signed off work, before making his way to the Arrow Bar at Bridge End. Once in the pub, he recounted the story to other railway workers. One was startled to hear him say that the woman had given her name as Hanvey, and told the company about an incident that took place in the area in 1896, when a local man stumbled upon the mutilated remains of a woman lying scattered over the rails of the junction. The body was later identified as that of Catherine Hanvey, a single woman of around 30 years of age who had worked as a domestic servant in a house on the Lisburn Road. The inquest verdict recorded that the said Catherine Hanvey, on the 21st of February 1896, on the Holywood and Bangor branch of the Belfast and County Line Railway, opposite Central Street, Ballymacarrett, in the city of Belfast, came to her death from injuries received, caused by an engine and train passing over her. Hi guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my Facebook page and my Twitter. Both links will be found in the description below.